Hi, it's Tim Halloran, just doing a quick video to accompany the blog post I've just written, which is about how to keep blogging. How to keep blogging after, we'll call it after everyone else quits. Quits. Okay, so I've been blogging for quite a while now, and I've definitely had peaks and troughs of super activity and then not being so active. But one of the best things you can do, I think, is choose a good niche which you love. I've written about this in my blog as well. I once had a website that was when-to-harvest-mushrooms.com, and I was going after that particular keyword so that I could rank on Google, which I did manage to do. But the problem was I wasn't at all interested in mushrooms and harvesting mushrooms, and even though I succeeded in ranking the website, it was a bit of a dismal failure, because after 6 months I just gave up because I wasn't interested in my topic. So I'd say this is probably the most important thing. Choose something that you're really going to enjoy writing about. Even if you're not particularly an expert in something, it's something you might want to learn about, and then you can use your own journey. This is what I do, really. Use your own journey. So journey experience. So if you're talking from your own experience, then you're being genuine, and no one can take that away from you. Even if you're not an expert, you don't have to be an expert. I think when I started blogging, I kind of felt I had to pretend to be somebody else, and the longer I've been doing blogging, the more I'm kind of able to feel a bit more free and be more genuine. Number 3, I'll definitely put this one in. When I started blogging, I put the money first. So I'm just going to say, don't put the money first. And the problem, don't put the money first. The problem with that is similar to my my mushroom blog. My intent was to rank a website and make money from it. I ranked a website, but I didn't make money from it. But the problem was I put the money first. If you're going to be a blogger, you might be going about blogging for several months. It might be 6 months. So can you imagine yourself blogging around your topic in 6 months' time, if it's something you're really not interested in, or you even you can't stand it? 6 months of blogging about mushrooms, and also I had to research every blog post because I didn't know about the topic. So it was really quite a lot of work involved just in writing any blog post. So don't put the money first. One of the examples I use often in my blog posts is Martin Lewis and moneysavingexpert.com. That's an affiliate website, and it's super useful. It's what's first is the value. So the value add for the consumers. So in Martin Lewis's Money Saving Expert, so it's moneysavingexpert.com, and that is an affiliate website, but the value comes first. He helps people with mortgage advice and credit card advice and saving money tips. There's super value on the website, and that's why it's such a successful site, because the money isn't put first, the value is first. And when you've got the value right, then people will come for the value, and you build trust. So number 3, don't put the money first. I'm going to put, so 4, So when you start, you might have some mental resistance. So remove mental resistance. So that might be just the first blog post. You might be a bit of a perfectionist. You're thinking, well, I can't really offer much. Bear in mind, you're not going to get a huge amount of visitors with your first blog post. So, write it for yourself, just to, get your foot in the water. So write something right for yourself. Write for yourself first. Once you've written one post, it's easy to write another. Don't feel it has to be perfect. When I first started blogging, I tried all sorts of different topics, and most of them were dismal failures, and nobody saw them anyway. So remove this mental resistance that it's got to be perfect. I'll just put, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're only getting the ball rolling, and you really want to find your niche, that's something you enjoy writing about, that you can keep doing for several months in a row. So remove the mental resistance. You don't even have to promote it if you don't want to, anything to get the ball rolling. So I would sometimes, if I get stuck, I write about an article about how to get unstuck, or how to remove some of these mental resistance. So, what are you afraid of? Being found out, or being seen, or, lots of inner resistance that might stop you doing that first blog post. Well, don't share it, or write something for yourself, or don't publish it. Just get into the habit of doing something, even if it's a small action. Let's do one more. So the other thing to keep in mind, and this is, I'm going to draw a little graph here. There's a really good book, James Clear, Atomic Habits, and he draws a graph in his book like this, and this is what you expect to happen. We'll put time at the bottom and results here. Results. So those are your results, and that's your time, and you'll expect to be writing your blogs and then finding results here, but actually this doesn't happen. In reality, it's more like this. And I'll keep going there. And James Clear, in his book, he calls this this area here the Valley of Disappointment, which is where valley. How do you spell valley? Valley of Disappointment. And this is where most people quit, because we expect our results to be linear. And in this line, I've done, I might have done 50 blog posts here. Where's my money? Where's my affiliate sales? Let's say you've done 50 blogs here. So that should be your result. Where's my results? And there's nothing, and maybe you have nothing to show for it, which can be quite demoralizing. But bear in mind, you're actually down here. And it's only when, I saw a post on Neil Patel's website, and it said you get this uptick at around 400 blog posts, which I actually got to 400 as using that as a bit of a marker to motivate myself. I did notice an uptick in my traffic at 400 blog posts. But if you stick with it long enough, as time goes on, you will find this happening. It does exponentially rise. That doesn't necessarily mean your income will, because that also depends on how you monetize your blog posts and your email list and all that kind of thing. But generally, that's your timeline rather than this. So if you've been blogging for 3 months and nothing's happened, this is why. So keep that in mind. And in order to get to here, you're going to need to come back to this. So doing something, writing about something you love. But also, I'll put another one in here. I neglected this for ages, and this blog promotion. Blog promotion is a big part of it. You can get stuck on creating a ton of content, but if you don't share it, no one's going to see it, and if they don't see it, they're not going to like it and share it themselves. So I'd say this is at least half of what you need to be doing, if not more. So make a habit out of writing those blog posts, but also make a habit out of promoting them. Promote them to your list, promote them to social media, and over time you'll find a steady increase in your visits. I'll put number 7 as well, because this is and I've written about this more in my blog post, which I'll put a link underneath this. Intrinsic motivation. So intrinsic motivation is coming from within. If you're only focused on this, you're going to be really disappointed when you've done your first 30 blog posts and nothing happens. But if you find an intrinsic motivation, for me, one of my intrinsic motivations was, well, I was enjoying what I was writing about, but also I had a motivation to get one or more of my posts ranked on Google. So I was aiming at long tail keywords which had low competition, and my goal was to actually rank one of my articles, which gave me motivation to do it. And even though ranking an article doesn't necessarily mean I'd make more money, although it would mean more traffic, and that kind of has a knock-on effect to making more money, it was a baby step, I guess, baby step towards the ultimate goal, which was obviously making a living from my blogging. So a baby step could be, focusing on, it might be 10 hits a day, 10 organic hits a day on your blog, or it might be 10 leads a day, or a single lead if you haven't had a lead, 10 leads a day, or 1,000 hits, depending where you are. If you're just starting, it's going to be down here, but focus on something that's achievable and small, and that can be your intrinsic motivation. Lots of these things come back to writing about something you love. If you're intrinsically motivated from within, you're going to last a whole lot longer and get to this stage than if you're doing it just to get the results. You're going to have a whole lot of angst and problems as you meet this curve here, and it doesn't show up, because this is the timeline that's likely to happen with content marketing, and this might happen, well, depending on your niche and how competitive it is and how much you work on it and all those kinds of things. This could be several months or years down the line. So you want to have intrinsic motivation, take baby steps, focus on targets you can hit, and then reward yourself. So we'll have 8, give yourself rewards. So baby steps, give yourself rewards. There's a really good book, The Slight Edge, Jeff Olson. That's a really good book for bloggers. Read that, and it talks about taking these little tiny steps every day and incrementally. Don't aim for suddenly having a massive big result. Aim for getting 1% better each day. So it might be a reward might be a cup of coffee for writing a blog post, or a biscuit or something. And don't allow yourself to have that unless you've done your blog post. Once you've done, 10 blog posts, then you can have give yourself a larger reward, and that can help motivate you towards getting 10 hits a day, 100 hits a day. Then you start getting more leads, then you start getting more sales. So there's a knock-on effect from all of that. So that's it for this video. I'm going to post the link to there's a blog post I've written on this topic as well. Do check that out, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.